Welcome back to Hardly Minded My Business. I am your host, Dashing D, aka Dash. You know, I toggle between the two these days. And this is Hardly Minded My Business, as I already said. So I'm here. I fixed the camera angles. I understand. I messed up. I screwed up royally last week, and I don't know what happened. Normally I test the camera to make sure that everything looks okay. And I was in a hurry last week trying to make sure I got the episode done, and clearly that did not work out. So I'm sorry to those of you who couldn't see anything beyond like here on my face. What's odd is that you can probably see me like move the camera because I think that it's not good, and I made it worse, which I don't know. I contemplated not putting out the episode, but then I felt like, no, we should put it out. It was a pretty decent episode. So why not go ahead and put it out? So here we are. You know, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get rolling. Other than me being under the weather, I've also kind of come into April with a new attitude. I'm thinking more about like how can I show up better for myself? How can I be more organized? How can I, push back when I need to push back on certain things? When I need to, same boundary setting, how can I do that in a way that is productive for me and people around me? Because it just I felt like at some point in the first part of the year that I was going to have a breakdown, if I didn't actually have it, because maybe I did, but I felt like I was going to have a breakdown because I was putting all of these things on my plate, work and personal. I was putting all of these things on my plate all at once and not really like taking time to breathe, but just trying to like power through on certain things and make sure that certain things get done. Skipping over things that I would normally do to just like maintain self. I wasn't doing those things. So I'm trying to get back to doing those things now. Yeah, I don't know how good I'm doing at it. I feel like I had a really good week last week, and then my week this week started really, really well. I just felt I had such a great outlook on the way my week started. And I maintained that for most of the week. I got to Friday and, started to, some of the frustrations that I've been having started to seep back in. But I realized that I have to actively try to create better days for myself. I need to wake up in the morning and I need to ease into my day. I don't need to start working right away. So I've been getting up a little bit earlier, sitting by the window. I like to come over here and sit here, look out the window, catch some of the sun when there is sun. If there's anything I need to do, like pick up stuff around the house or whatever, I try to do that in the first hour of my day. I try to like zen out. I have been trying to avoid opening social media, opening YouTube, turning on a podcast. What I have been doing, I did mention before that I've been trying to get back into reading, and I've been doing some audiobooks. So I might turn on an audiobook, or I might have my home device like tell me the news, or just ease into the day. I really want to get to a point where I'm working out in the mornings before work again, because I think that was really helpful to me too. Either in the mornings or at lunchtime. I feel like lunchtime kind of helps reset also. If I'm having a tough morning and I go for a workout at like 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, sometimes that really makes a difference in my day. It kind of brings me back. So I need to start getting back to doing those things. Remember when I used to do the mindfulness cards? I still have them, but I have not opened a mindfulness card. I think I opened one some weeks back because I remembered it. I looked at it. I was moving some things around in my apartment and I found them. And I was like, I need to do this again. I need to start being more mindful. I need to start paying more attention to things. I need to look up a little bit and get my head out of the books a bit to, you know, recharge. I don't feel charged up. I need to get recharged. Anyway, I say all this to say, I don't know if anybody is feeling burnt out. I don't know if anybody is experiencing that, where they feel like they're trying to re-up on their energy, or they're trying to recharge, they're trying to recenter and having a hard time doing so. But let me know in the comments, like, what do y'all do to get you back? Is it a vacation? Well, travel is cool, but travel is not always possible. It's not always convenient. So I'm trying to find, especially right now with a lot of things that are going on personally, travel is like not even on my mind right now. But what do y'all do? Like, let me know, because it could be that. It could be, hey, go spend a night somewhere. Or it could be as simple as, I don't know, you know, I meditate in the middle of the day, or I go do yoga or something like that. I do like doing yoga. I have my yoga mat. I pull up my yoga videos and I do that sometimes. It really helps as far as stretching goes. It also helps when I'm on my cycle. It kind of loosens things up a little bit for me, and some of the aches and pains, takes away some of those aches and pains. But you also got to be in the right state of mind and the right state of being when your cycle starts and you start doing yoga. And I don't know why this is not yoga, but anyway, so let's get into it. That's really what's going on with me right now. I'm also thinking a lot about how they don't warn us that at some point we will need to parent our parents. You know, they just be doing shit sometimes that just, you're like, but you know you shouldn't be doing this, or you know you should be doing this, and you're not. And where does that leave us as kids, as children of adult parents who are adults themselves? It's like, well, all right, Missy, why you not doing that? Or why are you doing that? Or sir, like, what? Let me know if y'all can identify with this. I'm sure you can, but sometimes you gotta pull them up. The same way, you know, sometimes at work you gotta manage up. Sometimes you gotta parent your parents, because they just be going rogue sometimes. And I don't understand. But nobody prepares you for that. Nobody really tells you that that's gonna happen. It kind of just happens and you're like, oh, okay. And then you mention it to other people and they're like, know exactly what you mean. I feel your pain. I feel your frustrations. But yeah, you're right. This is a thing that we have to do. This is a thing that comes up. Yeah. That can have its own set of challenges. Obviously, you know, you want your parents to live long, and you want them to live good and healthy lives, and sometimes it just be like, all right, do we need to have a sit down? Do we need to have a chat? Because what is going on with you? It feels weird sometimes, because you're like, man, this is the person who like raised me when like I was, you know, the feisty little kid who was doing whatever she was doing and shouldn't have been doing, or getting into things that she shouldn't have been getting into, or whatever. Like, these are the people who raised me. Like, were they all right? I think about that often, especially these days, you know, with different things going on with my parents. But I just think it's so interesting the way we kind of shift roles when we get older. That being said, you know, that's life, and, you know, you just kind of deal with it as it comes. Petty or nah for this week. So for petty or nah this week, I've been thinking about the fact that, when you go shopping, do y'all go shopping? I don't shop a lot. I kind of have, like, my wardrobe is kind of my wardrobe. And, you know, I mix and match. I might buy things every now and again to kind of enhance whatever I have going on. But I'm not a huge shopper. I used to be. this was me 10 years ago, I was in the stores all the time. No, I'm a little older. I'm more practical now. So I'm not shopping a whole lot. But the reason I bring up shopping is because my frustration right now, I keep saying the word frustration. One of my peeves right now, one of my pet peeves right now is going into the store or ordering something online and ordering it in my size, which I know is my size, and it's oversized. Everything is oversized. Even when I size down on things, it's still oversized. I blame the kids. The kids want to wear baggy clothes. They want to look like they're back in the 90s. And now every time I go to the store, I can't find the correct size. I don't know what my size is anymore. I have no idea. I pick up a large hoodie, I put it on, it's still way too big for me. I want it to be a little baggy, but I don't want it to be falling off of me either. I'm really annoyed with it. Like, what are we doing here? Fix it. Somebody, please. I feel like the trends have to change a little bit, which is probably going to take a while to happen. It'll probably be a few more years before things have a slimmer fit again, because everything that goes around, it comes right back around again. And I know the kids think that they're reinventing the wheel with all these 90s styles, all these baggy jeans, all these low rise and the midriffs and whatnot. They're not, but it's cool that, you know, you found something that you liked and you wanna hone in on this. But can I get a top, a sweatshirt or whatever that is not so oversized that I could just like put it on and go? I don't have to make any alterations. I don't have to cut it into a crop top. I don't have to go back to the store multiple times or try on 3 different sizes just to figure out which size actually fits me properly. I'm not someone who wants to wear clothes that don't fit me properly. I think that's crazy, because there's a difference between a baggy look and just you look a little frumpy. I don't want to look frumpy. I don't like it. So can somebody fix that, please? Who do I need to talk to? Who's the manager? Let me know. Who decides when we stop doing this? Because I know y'all noticed it's happened to me multiple times. In fact, happened to me while I was traveling a couple months ago. I went, I think I mentioned before that I went to DC at the beginning of the year, and it was so cold, and I went the snowiest weekend I could possibly go. It's not on purpose, but that's how it ended up. And what was crazy to me was I realized when I got there that I didn't bring my hat and my gloves. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need to go find something because it's really cold. It was even colder than expected. Like leading up to it, it wasn't supposed to be as cold, and the temperatures kind of shifted at the last minute. And then there was all this snow, and I'm like, there's no way I could walk around and I could do things in DC without having, you know, better protection. So I go and I find some stores in the neighborhood where I was staying, and I go into an H&M, which to me is like really simple and really easy because you can find basics at H&M and it's like no big deal. So I go in there and I'm looking for hoodies. They have this huge stack of hoodies in like 5 different colors, and they're all laid out. And when I tell you I could not find one large, I could barely find a medium. And even when I put on the medium, it was way too big for me. Now I get that, like, I also have been trying to exercise, so I probably lost a little weight, but that's not it. Like, everything is way oversized. And the reason you can't find a large is because the people who are more petite are sizing up because they want a bigger fit. And that's fine. But what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? Anyway, that's my petty or not for this week. I know it's silly, but it's still like, I shouldn't have to go through this. All right. Let's get into it. What we got to talk about today? Okay, what do we need to talk about? Let's talk about Essence magazine. Love us some Essence. We love Essence down over here because you know what, they They do the work when it comes to Black women. So Essence has put out their Man of the Moment covers. There are 3 Man of the Moment covers. And the cover stars are Damson Idris. He looks phenomenal on the cover. Russell Wilson, the NFL player, also Ciara's husband, and none other than my fave, Usher. These covers look great. They did a really good job. Everybody looks good. You know, I know there was some criticism about Russell Wilson's look. I think they all looked great. I especially love the Usher cover. I'm a little concerned because I noticed that they said that you can only get the Usher cover if you're a subscriber. I am not currently an Essence subscriber, but I will be going to my local newsstands this weekend coming up because I think the covers drop this week. I think the digital covers are out, but the actual physical copies won't be out for another few days. I will be looking for these covers because why not? Also, I want to support Essence if I can. So I don't mind going out and buying the magazines, but Usher looks good, okay? Usher is in his early 40s, I believe. Looks well seasoned. Okay. Usher's body, Usher's skin, Usher is aging really well. I mean, early 40s is not old by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm just saying, as he gets older, he is aging so well. So well. Still looks good. Body still looks great. I mean, he is in a bathtub. And there's video of him in the bathtub. And the thing about Usher is he's a professional, okay? He's been doing this a long time. So he knows how to give it to the camera, which I thought it was actually funny watching the videos of it because you could tell he's like he's in his zone. He's definitely like giving the sexy eyes and he's turning his head a certain way. You know, he's doing the job he came to do, and that he did, because when I tell you, like, the images are doing what they need to do, okay? There's even one image where it kind of looks like the D'Angelo video where D'Angelo is not wearing anything and you can kind of see, you know, you can see the crease here by his waistline. There's excuse me, there's an image like that, which is so good. It's really, really, really good, okay? And like I said, Damson Idris and Russell Wilson look good too. Everybody came, everybody showed up, everybody did what they were going to do. But I see you, Essence. I see you trying to, you know, make sure you could build up your subscribership by not letting people just pick up the Usher issue. But I will find a way to get it. I will. And it will be in my house. Okay? We haven't lusted over men in a really long time, but I just feel like, you know, we got to give it up to Usher because, yeah, he looks good. He looks real good. Yeah, so there were other, it's Sexiest Man of the Moment. I believe there's a total of 15 men. I'm just going to read real quick who else is on this list. I know most of these people, some of these people I don't. But obviously I said Damson Idris, Russell Wilson, and Usher. They're calling Usher the R and Zaddy, by the way, which I think is really cute and funny. Lenny Kravitz, always a good choice. It don't matter what Lenny wears. Lenny always looks good. Lenny is a very sexy man. He reeks of sex symbol, and I love it. There's also Daniel Kaluuya, Jaylen Brown, Rome Flynn, Nas, Coleman Domingo, Trevante Rhodes, Stephen Diggs, Cord Jefferson, Burna Boy, Tyler Lepley, Skepta, Kendrick Sampson, Joey Badass, and Tyler James Williams. So they all have, like, you know, they're all featured in the magazine. So it should be a cool issue if you're into this. And so it should be coming out in a few days. But you can certainly check it out on digital. They did not pay me for this, but I feel like, I gotta share with the girls, because why not? Like, who doesn't want to look at a beautiful man? So, yeah. What else do we need to talk about? Meg Thee Stallion did a panel at Adweek. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know exactly what the panel was specifically, but they were talking about, I assume that it was like a digital panel, because I believe they asked her which app is her favorite app, and she said, don't tell Instagram or TikTok, but my favorite app is Pinterest. Now, I don't think that Instagram or TikTok would be upset about this, because they offer different things, but she said Pinterest, and I love me some Pinterest. First of all, you can be on Pinterest and you can be anonymous. Okay. When you're on Instagram and you're on TikTok, it's very if you're going to post content, it's very in your face, it's very out there, or whatever. Pinterest, you could just have, and this is what she said too, but I'm going to speak from my perspective. Like, I have boards that have outfits. Then I have different boards. Like, I have, like the going out outfits, the loungy outfits, work outfits. I have all of that stuff because, sometimes you need a little inspiration. I've got that. I've got my recipes that I love. I've got like a little fitness board that I like to pin to. I got my mixology board where it's just all cocktails and mocktails. So Pinterest, and the list goes on. I have a bunch of stuff. I have travel boards. I have all kinds of things. Home decor boards, whatever, you name it. I've got a board for it. I can't agree more. I just feel like, what are we doing here? Like, duh. Pinterest is that girl and has been that girl, but it doesn't get the buzz that the other apps do, because the other ones are so heavy on interaction and so heavily like video, and it's just there's a different format happening. Some of the content is the same. I know that you can filter the other content into Pinterest or vice versa. So it's not to say that they don't have the same capabilities. It's just a different vibe over there in Pinterest land. I think Pinterest is super cool. So I thought it was cool that Meg Thee Stallion talked about it. And Meg looks good. Have y'all seen Meg lately? Meg has like this cute little bob that she was working the other day on the panel. She had on this beautiful emerald green dress. I mean, she looked really good. I feel like Meg Thee Stallion is having a good year right now. A really good year. She's, she's out and about. She's doing her thing. She's been getting a lot of endorsement deals. She's had new music come out. I'm liking where things are for Meg Thee Stallion. I feel like after all she's been through over the last several years, her 2024 seems to be off to a good start. And I hope it stays that way, because I like that for her. It's really exciting for her. Can we talk about meeting people real quick? Do y'all ever meet people in person? Because I know these days everybody says that they're on the apps. Primarily, that's where they find people to date and whatnot. Somebody was asking me a question. I was talking to a friend, and she was asking me, like, do you ever meet anybody out and about? And I'm like, not really. I mean, maybe every now and again you come across somebody who you're mildly attracted to, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that person seems cool. But a lot of times, and I'm probably not the right person to ask, because I'm not out and about the way I once was, but she was telling me this story about how she saw this guy on the train, and he was looking, and she was looking, and he was looking, and she was looking, but they never really said anything to each other. I did say, though, because, okay, so two things. One thing I said was, oh, well, you could totally tell the internet that you found this man. Like, I don't know. People do this now where they go on the internet and they ask, hey, I was in this neighborhood. They do it a lot in New York. I don't know if they do it anywhere else. I was in this neighborhood, I saw this man, this is his description, and he was so cute, like I should have asked for his number. Or men will do the same thing, like I should have asked her for her number, whatever. Sometimes people have images, sometimes they don't. So that's one route to take, I guess. It's weird, but I wouldn't do it. I just don't think that I would want everybody in my business like that, but it's cool, I understand. I would just take the loss at that point. Also, I feel like maybe it's not always a loss, right? I think that sometimes you just kind of need a cute little moment, right? Maybe the moment doesn't necessarily lead to anything at all, like not a phone number, not a nothing, not a date, sometimes it's okay to just have a cute moment with somebody. Everybody you encounter is not going to be somebody you pursue. Sure, if you want to if you want to speak, or if you're interested, like you looking for something, then you should definitely approach the person so that you don't have to go search for them on the internet. But I think it's cute to just have cute moments with people. I thought it was a really cute story. I was like, oh, so you were looking at him and he was looking at you, and you were looking at him and he was looking at you. Okay, so y'all probably, were like, oh, he's attractive. Oh, she's attractive. Okay, it's nice seeing this eye candy on my commute, And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think sometimes we gotta have those moments. It gives you a little confidence boost, makes you feel good about your day. You're like, okay, he was looking, and I think if we get too caught up on the missed moment, then we won't enjoy those little moments. They don't all need to end that way. Like I said, if you want to approach somebody, if you feel like it's worth it to approach somebody, then you absolutely should proceed with caution. Always be safe and always be careful about what you do. But I think that sometimes you could just have like a cute little moment and let it be that. So yeah, there's that. We got to get into what I'm watching. So I don't have too much on what I'm watching. I said I was gonna watch Good Times. I have not watched it yet. I did watch episode 3 of Jerrod Cawrmichael, even though I had such a complicated reaction when it came to episode 2. It wasn't it didn't do it for me. I didn't like some of the things he said. But episode 3, I am glad I watched episode 3, because I feel like episode 3 explains a lot about Jerrod's state of mind, and also his character. Because the first 2 episodes, it looks like he's very conflicted about certain things, and it makes you think, like, who is this person? Is this person a bad person? Is this person is this person just really like deeply troubled or deeply traumatized by something? Is this person guided by, their own selfishness? Like, there's a lot to it's all over the place. You could watch this show one moment and think, man, wow, I really feel for him. Like, I totally understand, or this is so relatable. And then there's other moments where it's like, nigga, what you doing? So that being said, I watched episode 3, and then episode 3, I had at the beginning, I was like, ooh, this is very cringy. This is very, nigga, what you doing? I think it's safe to say that he has a lot of work to do on himself. I don't know where certain things come from. I do think that he has a level of selfishness about himself, and he admits that. But I wonder if this is all a result of something that, or his background and his experiences that he has had in his life. I wonder if that's a contributing factor to the way he acts, the way he treats people. I don't know, but I did walk away from episode 3 thinking, wow, this is a lot deeper than, like, he comes across shallow at times and self-absorbed, but at the same time, I can't help but think that grew from something, that comes from somewhere. I almost feel like life and maybe some of his experiences have hardened him. I don't know. But also, at one point, his friend says, well, you kind of always been that way. And I was like, ooh, then it is a character flaw, isn't it? I don't know. It's very complicated. I'm not his therapist, so I don't need to know exactly what the goings on are. But that was my takeaway from episode 3. I was just like, ooh, wow. I think that he's very conflicted. I think that he struggles with who he is and who he wants to be. And I think that's totally relatable. I don't think there's any person on the planet who can't identify with, you know, having a conflict in your mind where you want to do one thing, or you want to see yourself in a certain way, but you can't because there's some sort of block, or there's something that, even though you know that you do these things, you kind of still do them. I don't know. There's a self-sabotage element to it that I think that most people can identify with on some level. But yeah, I don't know. But at this point, I feel like I'm invested. I feel like I have to keep watching it. So episode 4 next week, I guess. I don't know. I will still check out Good Times, as I said. Is there anything else I need to talk about watching? I watched the Freaknik doc. Did I talk about the Freaknik doc? I don't think I did. I watched it. It was interesting. You should watch it. I don't have too much to say about it. I do think that it shines a light on Uncle Luke and how he kind of came in after the festival, picnic, whatever it was already underway, and he really shifted the tone of this event. I don't know that he shifted the tone for the better. I think a lot of the stories that we hear about the later years of Freaknik, I think that his involvement in Freaknik kind of contributed to that. But I would say watch the doc and, you know, let me know what you think. I was not around for Freaknik, so I can only speak on what I've seen or heard people say. So I didn't want to talk too much about it because I just feel like I was a child when the aunts and uncles were out and about and doing their thing at Freaknik. So I can't really say too much about that. I don't have first-hand experience. But, yeah. What else am I watching? I think that's it for now. I think we'll have more coming up soon. But that's really what I've been watching lately. I haven't been going too crazy with the TV lately. So I will keep y'all posted. And on that note, all we got to get to is tweet of the week. I'm going to figure out how to put this up. I'm going to try to put this in the video. If it's not in there, you know, you'll just have to, maybe I'll post it to my stories or something online. But I saw this video of this person sitting on a plane where, it's not a tweet, but the person is sitting on a plane and they're showing a picture of they're showing a video of their feet, and all you see is the person behind them is wearing Birkenstocks and their foot is like right next to this person's feet. They got their foot all the way underneath the seat to the point where this person in front can see the foot. So you know what this person did, and I really respected, he took his water bottle, opened up the water bottle, and sprinkled water on this person's foot. And rightfully so, because why is your foot all the way up here? Why is it here? Why is it here? What is it doing here? We don't have a lot of space on the plane. People just and if your foot can't stay behind my seat, you might need to get a different seat on the plane, a seat that has more leg room, a first class seat, somewhere that is more spacious is where you should be going if your foot can't stay back there. what are we doing? Getting on a plane sometimes can be a wild experience because I don't know what it is. I guess it's the extended period of time of being on this plane. People forget like their manners and also like feel like they're in their house. It's weird. It is the strangest thing, but that's the tweet of the week. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.